File in this Wednesday, Jan. 6, 2021 file photo. Trump supporters try to break through a police barrier at the Capitol in Washington. Right-wing extremism has previously mostly played out in isolated pockets of America or in smaller cities. In contrast, the deadly attack by rioters on the U.S. Capitol targeted the very heart of government. It brought together members of disparate groups, creating the opportunity for extremists to establish links with each other. AP photo, Julio Cortez. File in this Wednesday, Jan. 6, 2021 file photo. Trump supporters try to break through a police barrier at the Capitol in Washington. Right-wing extremism has previously mostly played out in isolated pockets of America or in smaller cities. In contrast, the deadly attack by rioters on the U.S. Capitol targeted the very heart of government. It brought together members of disparate groups, creating the opportunity for extremists to establish links with each other. AP photo, Julio Cortez. File. Washington. AP. The Department of Homeland Security issued a national terrorism bulletin Wednesday warning of the potential for lingering violence from people motivated by anti-government sentiment after President Joe Biden's election, suggesting the Jan. 6 riot at the Capitol may embolden extremists and set the stage for additional attacks. The department did not cite a specific threat, but pointed to a heightened threat environment across the United States that it believes will persist for weeks after Biden's Jan. 20 inauguration. Advertisement. It is not uncommon for the federal government to warn local law enforcement through bulletins about the prospect for violence tied to a particular date or event, such as July 4th. But this particular bulletin, issued through the department's National Terrorism Advisory System, is notable because it effectively places the Biden administration into the politically charged debate over how to describe or characterize acts motivated by political ideology and suggests that it sees violence aimed at overturning the election as akin to terrorism. The wording of the document suggests that national security officials see a connective thread between recent violence over the last year motivated by anti-government grievances, whether over COVID-19 restrictions, the 2020 election results in police use of force. It also singles out racially motivated acts of violence such as the 2019 rampage targeting Hispanics in Texas, as well as the threat posed by extremists motivated by foreign terrorist organizations. Information suggests that some ideologically motivated violent extremists with objections to the exercise of governmental authority and the presidential transition, as well as other perceived grievances fueled by false narratives, could continue to mobilize to incite or commit violence, the bulletin said. It did not mention any ideological or political affiliation, while noting the potential for violence from a broad range of ideologically motivated actors. The alert comes at a tense time after the riot at the Capitol by supporters of then-President Donald Trump who were seeking to overturn the presidential election. DHS also noted violent riots in recent days and apparent reference to events in Portland, Oregon, linked to anarchist groups. Full coverage. Politics. Advertisement. The alert was issued by Acting Homeland Security Secretary David Peckowski, Biden's nominee for the cabinet post. Alejandro Mayorkas has not been confirmed by the Senate. Two former Homeland Security secretaries, Michael Chertoff and Janet Napolitano, called on the Senate to confirm Mayorkas so he can start working with the FBI and other agencies and deal with the threat posed by domestic extremists. Among other issues, Chertoff, who served under President George W. Bush, said in a conference call with reporters that attacks by far-right domestic extremists are not new but that deaths attributed to them in recent years in the U.S. have exceeded those linked to jihadists such as Al-Qaeda. We have to be candid and face what the real risk is, he said. Federal authorities have charged more than 150 people in the Capitol siege, including some with links to right-wing extremist groups such as the Three Percenters and the Oath Keepers. The Justice Department announced charges Wednesday against 43-year Ian Rogers, a California man found with 5 pipe bombs during a search of his business this month, who had a sticker associated with the Three Percenters on his vehicle. His lawyer told his hometown newspaper, the Napa Valley Register, that he is a very well-respected small business owner, father, and family man who does not belong to any violent organizations.